episode 20. We've made it to episode 20. No one can believe it, least of all me. And today, we have with us a special guest by the name of Greg.
Hello.
Hi, Greg.
Hello, Franco. Hello, Wayne.
How are you? As
I'm
always,
fine.
is Wayne with us as well? Because we're going to be catching up and talking about some stuff. How are you, my friend?
I am doing pretty well. I did a good walk today. That's always nice. I feel like I've accomplished something when I get out and walk around.
Oh, I didn't go for a walk because it was rainy here all day. But I've been going for a walk every day during the weeks past.
Whenever I ain't gonna come down on you for staying in the rain.
Yeah, I don't like to get wet. I'm like the Wicked Witch of the West. If I get wet, horrible things happen.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's why you do like a cat. You wash yourself just by licking your arms.
Ew, no. I don't do that.
That's what cats do.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that.
Okay. You do whatever you want. You dry clean.
But Wayne is here. Hi, Wayne. How are you?
Hi, pretty good. Thinking about cat yoga positions right now.
Ooh, ew. No.
There is the cat pose, yeah. Cat and cow.
Ew. No, I don't need to know this much about you guys.
You're giving me ideas for things to draw.
How's your Canadian hockey team doing?
We're down 1 in the first. We still have 1:52 left to tie up the game. And
who are they playing?
Montreal Canadiens are playing Tampa Bay Lightning.
Okay.
There you go.
Game 3.
See? So those of you out there that were struggling with whether you needed to watch this or the hockey game, you don't have to because Wayne will update on the scores.
You're sounding robotic.
So,
are you hearing
sounding
that?
Like a Dalek.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, you were sounding like a Dalek.
Or one of the timekeepers. You started sounding like one of the timekeepers.
I was saying for those of you out there that were struggling with whether to watch the hockey game or us, you don't have to because Wayne will keep you apprised of the score. He'll do play-by-play.
Oh, you'll be able to tell from my expression.
Yeah. As always, we're here to talk about Loki and snacks. But like I like to warn everybody, for those of you can comment out there on any of the pages you see. That's why Wayne is out there monitoring all things and a hockey game. But we, as always, may veer off topic. But that's okay because it's called Catching Up with Franco, and it's about whatever I want to catch up on. But by all means, you should please comment, and we will address such things. So deal with it. Good, yes. So, Greg Schigiel.
Yeah.
How are you?
Oh yeah, Franco. Oh yeah, Wayne. Oh yeah, me.
Yes, all of these things.
Yeah.
We're gonna draw today too. You gonna draw? What are you
gonna draw? I'm all set up for drawing. I've got a camera ready. Whenever you want to, if you want to have that show, whenever you want. Oh, look at this. Here we go.
I'm gonna put them on. I'm gonna put them in order too. Yep.
Look at this. Now we're right next to I'm right next to my own desk.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna put it underneath you.
Okay, perfect.
Your desk underneath you, so it's Franco's desk and Greg's desk, so we all know.
Now here's what I'm noticing though.
Yeah.
In my screen,
yeah,
I've got your face over my face.
That was intentional. So it looks like there's two of me.
Oh, okay.
So like there's two of me. So
yeah, I mean I'll go with it. It'll be like a jib jab.
No. We want your full beautiful face on here.
Oh, now you're gonna make me blush and cry.
So
you're drawing Black Adam.
I am. I'm gonna. This was. I was gonna draw Loki because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna sketch things.
Which one, right?
Well, we're doing spoilers already.
Spoilers.
That's the other thing I want to say. We always spoil on this show.
Hold on.
So
is that a spoiler? There could be comic book Loki. There could be movie Loki. There could be your interpretation of mythological Loki. That has nothing to do with this television program Loki. I just rattled off 3.
So there's always going to be spoilers.
I could pull out my copy of Dungeons and Dragons, Deities and Demigods. There's a Loki in there.
Oh, true. We're talking about Marvel's Loki because that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
But I was going to draw that, and then I had a vision of colors and what I specifically wanted to do with something, and I'm like, oh, Black Adam, that would look cool, Black Adam. So that's what I drew. So there.
Okay.
That's what I'm drawing. And you
Thought you were
yourself?
gonna- Well, so a few things have popped into my head. One is you said vision, which made me think of the Vision.
Oh, uh-huh.
So I could draw the Vision.
Yeah.
Discussion of cat and cow has me thinking I might draw some of the. So I have this coloring book that I put together, Superhero Universe of animal superheroes.
And where can you get that?
On Amazon.
Oh, there you go.
And there's a cat in there, and there's a cow in there. So I might draw one of those since we were talking cat cow.
What about cow and chicken?
There is a rooster in there as well.
Oh,
The cow and the rooster are on the same team.
I meant the old show
cartoon.
cow. Yeah.
Yeah. I could draw them. It will not look like what the show is. I'd be making it up.
If you're gonna do cow and chicken, don't forget I Am Weasel.
Yeah.
That's right. And Courage the Cowardly Dog. We could just keep naming Cartoon Network shows of that era.
Well, what about Jellystone, which is coming out? Well, you mentioned right before we came on. We could talk about that.
I
and we
did
can.
mention Jellystone. How did I? Oh, because I said Jabberjaw.
Mm-hmm.
And I am very curious to see Jellystone.
I was not until I found out that it was the same.
Greenblatt.
The same show guy as Chowder, which I loved.
Chowder was great, and he worked on SpongeBob before Chowder.
Oh, did he? I didn't know that.
He was a storyboard guy on SpongeBob. Then he got Chowder. And a lot of the voice talent in Jellystone. It's a lot of comedians that are doing voice talent. Like Paul F. Tompkins is I think Magilla Gorilla.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people in it. I think Ron Funches might be one of the voices. I can't remember, but I tend to find a lot of that Hanna-Barbera stuff not the most exciting. So I'm fully willing to take in a new interpretation of the Hanna-Barbera universe.
Yeah, I like Hanna-Barbera, and I like Chowder a lot.
Chowder was awesome.
It was just really funny, super funny. Like, hello, ladies, want to see me do some squats? I like that sort of thing. Not squats or ladies. Wait, yes. Well, anyway, but
squatting ladies, we understand.
But I really like Chowder a lot, so I'm very excited about the thing with Jellystone. So there's that.
Did my camera go completely blurry on my desk?
Yes, it's all digitals.
Now it's better. I think if I shake the table, it blurs out. I realize I don't know where my eraser is, and Lord knows I make mistakes.
I got one here if you need one.
See, what would be good is if in this moment I found my eraser and I'd say hand it over. And we could do that trick people do over video.
Yeah.
And I grab it. Where is that eraser? Or I'm just going to make mistakes and live with it.
Yeah.
Lesson for us all. Sometimes you just got to live with it.
So I screwed up my drawing already. So
Wayne, do you have a favorite animal, just in general, in the animal kingdom?
Cats.
All right. So I'm
a
going to draw.
Cat person.
And I will draw. So just house cats, not like wild cats.
Oh no, panthers, lions, leopards.
All right. So of the cats, do you have a favorite cat?
Panthers.
Panthers. All right.
I go back to Natasha Kinski and Cat People.
Ooh, wow. Malcolm McDowell, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Also, little known fact is that Wayne actually has 3 panthers in his house right now.
Sweet.
So that's the thing as well.
That's cool. I like it. All right, so I'm going to figure out which of these cats.
A lot of steak being eaten up here. That's all I know.
So it's a Friday night and we're hanging. Because, it's what us older guys do.
Totally. And we are older guys. Well, actually, I don't know how old Wayne is. I assume Wayne is 22.
I'm the oldest of the group.
So
24.
Pretty much.
No.
Got it.
24, add another
4?
30 some.
All right, so 28. Got it. Nobody's older than 30. That's how we're doing things.
24.
Yeah. All right.
So, you want to talk about
topic number 1?
Yeah, you want to talk about Loki first, or you want to talk about snacks first, or something else entirely?
Well, you're the host, so I will let you choose.
We weren't here last week because I was in Chicago, so we had to
Okay.
skip last week. So we have to talk about episode 3 and 4 of Loki, and whether we liked it or didn't like it.
All right, so we could do that.
Mm-hmm.
Am I starting or are you starting?
Yes.
That was a binary question. You gave a third answer.
It still stands, and it's true.
Here's what I can tell you about Loki so far.
Yeah.
I was not interested in it at all before it started.
Well, why is that?
I'll explain
Okay.
it.
And before you do, did you like any of the other series? Did you like Vision or the Falcon Winter Soldier?
I liked WandaVision.
Mm-hmm.
Falcon and Winter Soldier didn't like as much. And in general, just I am not as in love with the interpretation of Loki from the Avengers movies as people seem to be.
Okay.
So the Loki TV show is like, I don't see the point of this. Then I saw a trailer for it, and it was a time travel thing, and it had Owen Wilson in it, and I thought, oh, this is cool. All right, now I'm interested.
Just because
then I watch it.
Wilson, so you like to sit around going, "Oh wow,
Owen Wilson is awesome."
Right. But I'm asking,
Owen
do you
Wilson
sit around in your spare time and go, "Wow"? Do you do that?
No, but I do think Wes Anderson.
That's my Owen Wilson.
I understood that.
Okay.
I do think Wes Anderson's best movies are the ones in which he collaborated with Owen Wilson.
Oh,
and I think when he stopped collaborating with Owen Wilson, the movies are not as good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I like Owen Wilson. I like time travel stuff. I checked it out, and the first episode was pretty good, but it felt like a show that wasn't as quirky as it could be.
Mm-hmm.
Like, did you watch Legion at all?
Mm-hmm.
Like Legion is like
no.
so. Was it Franco?
No.
Did you watch it?
No, I have it DVR'd, but I haven't watched it.
So it's so trippy and weird that it's like it's completely otherworldly in the experience of watching it. And this is like low level version of that, and it doesn't feel as trippy and weird. But they want you to feel like it's that trippy and weird.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they want me to think. That was my impression of it. That said, I've continued to watch it. I find certain episodes a little boring. A lot of just people talking in hushed tones.
Mm-hmm.
And there are things I like, and then there are things I don't understand why I'm supposed to care.
Interesting.
Yeah. Your turn.
So I thought the show was off to a slow start, even though I like the time travel stuff. I wanted to like it. We talked about the first episode and second episode. I think it's getting better. I think the twists and turns are there for me, and it has surprised me in ways that I did not think I could be surprised. We could also be talking about the breakfast cereal I had as well, in those terms. But yes.
So what are some of the surprises that surprised you?
Again, spoilery type stuff, but killing Owen Wilson, although I don't know if they did, and killing Loki, I don't know if they did. But I thought those were pretty ballsy moves.
Yeah, I will say the killing of Owen Wilson took me by surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Again, but I think it's more because I like Owen Wilson more than I like Mobius. Like, oh, he can't be gone.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that said, Wayne mentioned this before we started recording. There's the post-credit sequence.
Right.
Can we talk about the post-credit sequence? Can we jump into that?
No, we can't. No spoilers on this show. No spoilers.
Wait, is it no spoilers on the show?
No, it's totally spoilers on this show.
I don't know if you want to talk about it yet because it's the post-credit scene.
Yeah, no, that's why no one watches this show, because it's all spoilers and nobody ever watches it. So,
There
but
you
yeah,
go.
we can spoil away.
I actually have friends that don't watch it, will watch it after they watch the episode.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So, yeah, based on that post-credit scene, it tells me that anybody that gets, what's the word they use when they zap them with that poker?
Pruned. They prune them.
Yeah. When they get pruned, they clearly just go somewhere else.
Right.
Unless Loki is magical and went somewhere else because he's magical.
Well,
But
that's a thing, but yeah.
But
or the other Lokis pulled them out of the time stream.
Also possible. I think my problem with the post-credit scene or the mid-credit scene is there haven't been mid-credit scenes up until this point.
Right.
So if I wasn't playing a game of solitaire while the credits were rolling and enjoying the song they were playing, I would have just stopped it. And I wouldn't have gotten arguably the best thing in the entire episode.
Right.
And I think that's I don't know, I don't think that's a great storytelling decision. Like that should have been the cliffhanger before the credits.
No, I disagree with you. And here's
why. Okay.
Because I'm thinking that it was ballsy move to kill Owen Wilson. Okay.
Sure.
Caught me by surprise. Totally caught me by surprise. And then when they killed Loki, it was a double whammy. And I'm thinking, holy crap, do they have the balls right now to make Sylvie, Lady Loki, the lead in the show? Because that would have been all out balls to the wall, like awesome. Then the mid-credit scene comes out, and I was excited for a mid-credit scene, and I was excited to see all those Lokis. But now our Loki is alive, and I'm like, pits. That was disappointing to me. And I'm wondering if I'm the only one that felt this way. And I'm not just talking amongst you two guys. I'm talking about everybody, all the other 2 people out there that are listening.
Hey, 2 people. Let's hear your thoughts.
You know what I'm talking about, though?
I do know what you're talking about, because the last scene before the mid-credit scene is her saying, "Tell me everything," right? Sylvie saying to the judge or whatever that character's name is.
Mm-hmm.
Which, sure, I guess that's a cliffhanger. But I think because Loki has been our focal character this whole time, the shift of focus to the cliffhanger being Sylvie's maybe just didn't grab me as much. Maybe I'm not as won over by Sylvie as I'm supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the bit in the opening scene where you find out that she was taken as a little kid, that was effective in saying like, oh, this character's been given a bum rap.
Right.
That seems unfair. What'd this kid ever do?
Right. And now,
now we're waiting another week to find out what this kid ever did. Tell me what the kid did. Let's move this thing along.
Right. But also, I guess I shouldn't have thought that about making her the focal point, the star, because they haven't really set her up in the previous episodes. But I thought, wow, how ballsy would it be if they did this?
But you thought wow, or you thought wow?
Wow. Yeah.
That's your moment. You had it. It was in your hands.
I've been off my kilter here. But Wayne, what do you think, Wayne?
Yeah, Wayne.
I was hoping that they would have killed them off. I think it was really neat to see all the different Lokis.
Mm-hmm.
But it would have been nice if they just got rid of Tom and just focused on Lady Loki.
Right.
Or Sylvie.
Right.
So, I thought that would have been amazing.
Ballsy.
So speaking of the multi-Lokis.
Multi-Lokis.
So my memory is there's the one that's dressed like the comic book version, played by the actor whose name suddenly escapes me.
Richard E. Grant.
Yes, Richard E. Grant, who's great. There's the little kid Loki, and I know there was a comic with a kid Loki in it.
Right.
I think that was in Journey into Mystery.
Well, there have always been stories of Thor and Loki as kids, but I think there was a Loki series where he was a kid.
Right.
I didn't read it, but I believe that existed. Then there's an alligator.
Alligator Loki, yeah.
Now, he's kind of based on Squirrel Girl's Thor cat.
So it's not based on Frog Thor?
Not a character. It's not a comic book character at all, but it's based on the idea that Loki could be an animal.
And do you think they picked an alligator or crocodile because of Frog Thor? So they go in reptile instead of
probably.
amphibian? All right, and then there's a guy that looks like Thor. Dude with a hammer.
Right.
That's not a Loki.
That's boastful Loki.
Yeah, boastful Loki. That's what I hear.
Wait, that's a real thing?
Yeah.
So wait, how do you know it's boastful? Hold on. How do you know it's boastful Loki?
because that's what they're calling him.
Who?
Big
They.
Web.
Okay, so the people that made the show, we don't know who that character is.
No.
It's a big dude with a hammer, and everybody's calling it Boastful Loki. Based on what?
He looks
He
pretty
looks really
boastful.
strong.
He looks like Thor.
You seem upset by this, Greg.
No, okay. It's not upset. It's fired up. That's the difference. If a character looks like Thor, has a hammer, and it's a Loki scene, why would the assumption be, oh, that's a boastful Loki? He doesn't look like any of the Smurfs.
So
If there was a bunch of Smurfs, and then there was another Smurf that looked like Gargamel, would you call that Gargamel Smurf, or would you say that's a version of Gargamel?
okay, so
Oh no, okay. In IMDb, he is called the Boya of Parisi
easy
is
for you to
Boastful Loki. It's an actual name because they have classic Loki, Kid Loki, but they don't have the alligator Loki.
So we don't know who's playing the alligator.
No.
He's probably
if
not
it's
going to have any
anybody,
lines.
it's Sean Gunn.
Yeah, he probably
Well, I
doesn't have
think-
any lines, though.
Well, I'm saying it's probably an alligator, just like Ben the Bear usually plays bears and everything. That alligator is probably a pretty good actor, and we should know its name. He or she or they.
So now I'm thinking, just for the purposes of this show, because we don't want to upset any of our guests ever. We're going to call that one Loki Thor, just for you.
Thank you.
Okay.
I just think it's an alternate Thor, but apparently IMDb says otherwise. But I would ask, IMDb is like a Wikipedia.
Well, why would
Somebody
it be
could-
another Thor if all the rest of them are Lokis?
I don't know.
But maybe it's role reversal in that particular universe
It could
where
be.
Loki is the Thor type character.
That's absolutely possible. See, that's an
How's that?
answer, Franco.
See, this
Wayne
is
wins
why
a
we
no
have-
prize.
This is why we have Wayne on the show.
Wayne wins a no prize.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's true. Well, what are people out in the world there saying, Wayne?
Well, I hate to say it, it's pretty quiet.
Oh man. Okay, good.
I hate to hear that.
The only comment I see so far on all the platforms is from my brother Gary, good evening and happy 4th of July.
Oh, thank you. Wait a minute.
Thanks.
He doesn't even live here.
No, he lives about 20 minutes away from where I live.
Yeah. So
Yeah, 4th of July means nothing to you guys.
yeah, it does. They have a 4th of July there.
Yeah, we call it Canada Day on the 1st.
No, I meant you guys actually have a 4th of July. You just don't call it anything. It's just July 4th.
Sure.
Yeah.
I didn't say they didn't have a 4th of July. I said it meant nothing.
Oh, wow.
I wouldn't say that. My mom was born on 4th of July.
Wow.
Okay, then
now
it
you're
means-
insulting Wayne.
Oh, geez.
Wow.
Yeah, but you know
Wow.
what?
I feel
You
sad now.
insulted his hockey team before we got on the air, and now you're insulting his mom. This is awful. You're off to an
Yeah.
awful start.
This is how I come in hot and I blaze hot the whole time. I don't slow down for anybody.
I love it.
Hey, this is why you invite me. You don't invite me to be soft.
No, we just like our cookies soft baked. No, wait. We'll discuss that later.
Okay. We could discuss cookies when it's time for dessert.
Hmm.
Not
So,
time
yeah.
for dessert yet.
So now I'm very upset now. I don't know why.
About
I'm
what?
upset.
About me insulting the 4th of July?
No,
But-
about you not liking Thor Loki.
It's not that I don't like Thor Loki. I think Wayne brought up an excellent argument for why it would be an alternate universe Loki who is actually the Thor.
Yeah.
In that universe, Odin favors him. It's an
And
interesting
he is the
idea.
worthy one to hold Mjolnir.
There you go. That tracks. That has more value to me than the IMDb.
I believe it's pronounced
Dib?
Mignola Mignola, I believe.
I
When I-
prefer the Mew Mew.
When I was an
From,
assistant editor on Thor, I used to answer the letters to the letters page. And somebody had asked how to pronounce it. So I got to explain the pronunciation in the letters page of Thor. And I used Bjork and Fjord as my reference points for how to pronounce Mjolnir.
Oh. So you're an expert then.
Yeah, I'm an expert.
We should.
I answered letters in the Thor letters column.
Nice.
I also spent 4 Thor letter columns explaining how to win a no prize.
And how do you do that?
So there were 2 issues of Thor where in one issue Thor got into a fight, and in the fight his helmet falls off.
Oh no.
And in the next issue he has his helmet. And this person wrote in saying, at the end of issue 7 or whatever it was, Thor's helmet had fallen off, and at the beginning of issue 8 he had his helmet again. Where's my no prize?
Mm-hmm.
And that's not how you win. At least in my day, as an old man, that's not how you win a no prize. A no prize is you explain a mistake with a story. You have some sort of story explanation for why something was colored wrong or whatever.
Oh, I see. Is that the way you guys actually used to do it?
Yeah.
Because I never paid any attention to the letters columns. Is that bad? Because I would never read the letters columns in the older books.
No, I mean I didn't always read the letters columns. I did it as part of my job when I was there.
I was going to say, didn't you have to for your job?
Yeah. But as a reader, I didn't read all the letters columns. Some of them I did. Some of them I didn't. So what I then proceeded to do was I wrote a 4-part series, Saga of Thor's Helmet, where I explained how the helmet traveled across the country, taking on odd jobs and stuff. And by the 4th month of this, I called back to that letter and said, and that, whatever the person's name was from whatever city he was, is how you win a no prize.
You know, Greg?
Yep.
You might be old residuals from Robot Chicken.
How so?
Because they did a sketch with William Shatner's toupee going on missions at night. And then in the morning, Shatner would open up his drawer and they had all these medals in it from the toupee doing all these super heroic things. So depending on when you wrote your Thor story, someone from Robot Chicken might have read it and said, hey, we can apply this to William Shatner's toupee.
I think I did mine in 98 and 99. It would have been one of those 2 years.
Robot Chicken was after that, wasn't it? I want to
well,
see that.
There is an episode of Dexter's Laboratory, maybe?
It's pronounced Laboratory.
Yep. There's an episode of that. I think it's that show.
Ooh, let's do close-ups while we're talking. Yeah.
What's that? Oh.
We're going to do close-ups.
That completely rips off an issue of The Thing written by Tom DeFalco.
Oh, I like that lion guy.
So this is my my aquatic hero. He's a lion, and his name is Watermane.
I get it.
Get it?
Get it. You're like talented. You should like do comics for like a living or something.
Thanks, man. I try.
Wow, that's kind of cool.
Look at that, Black Adam.
That's what I got.
Now the way you drew his wrist situations.
Yeah.
Is that just your interpretation, or have they changed the costume to look like that?
No, I just like them that way.
Got it. Yeah. Like mummy bandages.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is that the intent because of the Egyptian connection?
Yes. Look at you. Look at you getting stuff.
I do get stuff. I pay attention. I ain't asleep at the wheel.
Nice.
If it's a character I'm familiar with, I can do that. If it's a character I don't know, forget it. I won't get any of it.
This is also the first thing I've drawn for fun in like 2 weeks. I think.
Is everything else you're drawing part of a torture regimen?
I wouldn't say torture, but it's something that I have to draw and I can't show.
Got it.
Type thing. You know what that's like.
Yeah. You're drawing fake IDs for teens.
Exactly.
Yeah. I get it. We all have to earn a living somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And these TikTok teens,
they bring in the bucks, man.
They bring in the bucks.
Yep.
They don't call them TikTok teens for nothing. Is anybody commenting on TikTok teens? This is hot stuff.
Nobody on TikTok. I don't think we even are on TikTok.
Are we on TikTok?
Not yet.
No. We're working on it, though. Not really.
It's from season 1, episode 14.
What is? I
Shatner
forgot.
toupee.
Oh,
And that's from 2005. So they obviously stole your idea.
They must have read that letters column. You know what? I will take it as an honorific. If I could have inspired Seth Green and his crew, so be it.
they win a no prize, I think. Pretty sure.
They might win a no prize, yeah. I have a couple of no prizes around here somewhere.
What was the no prize? Actually, no prize at all.
It is an envelope that says you are the winner of a Marvel no prize.
And would you send those out?
I would have loved to, but nobody ever won one.
Ah.
I was fully prepared to. I had them ready to go. The only person I can remember trying to win one was this guy that set me off on my 4-part saga. And yeah.
I think people would have assumed that there wasn't actually a prize, which is why they thought it was a no prize.
I mean, if somebody won one, the letters column would say, like, your no prize is on the way.
Right.
And it was just an empty envelope. But the envelope had the Hulk on it, and it said official Marvel no prize or something. It definitely had the words no prize on it.
Oh, because I remember the rejection letters had Spider-Man on them. Because I got a lot of those.
I have many of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just your standard Marvel letterhead.
Right.
Had Spidey swinging on the top right or top left. John Romita Spider-Man, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I have, when I got hired there, like my, welcome to Marvel Comics, this is what you're getting paid, all that stuff was on that same stationery.
Oh, so you thought you weren't getting hired.
Yeah. Oh, so it was so, like, Pavlovian to see that letterhead and just assume I was dead in the water.
Nice. So, back to Loki, I guess.
Sure.
So you're liking it, though you didn't want to.
Well, no, I thought the trailer made it seem more interesting than I'm finding it to be. There are things that are interesting about it, but I think with a lot of the Marvel stuff, and this is going to get me in trouble, like I already know it.
That's all right. No one's listening, so it's fine.
But they'll listen later. I think with a lot of the Marvel cinematic stuff, I find myself not particularly emotionally invested in what's happening to these characters or caring. So even like the sequence where Loki
as far as everything Marvel or just the TV shows?
Well, I haven't read a Marvel comic in a long time.
Okay.
So it's mostly been the cinematic, the TV shows, the movies. There are things that work, and then there are things that I don't necessarily particularly care for.
Right.
But like I thought WandaVision had some good emotional notes in it. I didn't think Falcon and Winter Soldier hit him as well as I think I would have liked.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, like the relationship between Loki and Sylvie,
kind of forced fast.
I don't know that it's forced. It's just I don't feel whatever chemistry we're supposed to believe exists.
Right.
Well, that's the same with Sam and the Winter Soldier. With Sam and Bucky, that just didn't feel the same as it did with Cap.
But I think that was part of the story. It's like it's not supposed to feel the same. Whereas with Loki and Sylvie, like, okay, there's a scene in the first episode of Loki where he's watching a sequence of Rene Russo dying.
Oh, spoilers.
And he has like his emotional reaction to it.
Right.
Like even in that scene, I was like, "Hey, what is happening right now? I don't understand why he's tearing up now. I don't understand this character, why he does the things he's doing."
I think you'd have to go back to watch Thor to see that he had a really close connection with his adopted mother.
Mm-hmm. I'm not going to go back and watch.
No. But I think
give me some context in the show I'm watching.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
show me a scene where they've bonded, so that when he's upset that she's dying, it makes sense that he's upset that he had something to do with it. I don't even know. Right. I can't remember.
I think to the detriment of itself, Marvel is really relying on the fact that you've seen everything Marvel with these shows. And To a degree, that's right. I mean, it's just, everybody has. That's
I've never
watching
seen
these shows.
I've never seen Thor: The Dark World, and that might be where all this stuff is coming from.
It's pretty much where she dies.
Okay, yeah, then I got nothing.
Right? She dies in that one, yes?
And is he responsible for her death?
No.
Kind of.
Because he lets like a bunch of frost giants out and stuff?
So you have seen it?
No, I've read Thor comics.
Oh.
I read Thor comics in the 1980s and the 90s and into the 2000s. So I know Loki's deal. I've drawn Loki in a comic book.
So then you're the Loki expert here. Which comic book did you draw Loki in?
There's the first comic I ever drew, What If number 104. It's got the Impossible Man in it, and at one point he impossibles into Loki. So I drew Loki, but he's colored purple and green.
Oh. So technically you didn't draw Loki.
Technically I did not, but in black and white I did.
Yeah, but technically you didn't, because that was Impossible Man.
True.
So
True facts.
you just lied to my 3 fans out there.
And the people that are going to listen later. Hey, if we're talking Loki and I'm not lying, am I really talking about Loki?
You could just be mischievous.
Yeah, that's the point. It's Loki.
Oh.
See what I did?
No.
Come on. That was, again, I'm spitting hot fire.
And in that issue, the Impossible Man gets the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yes. That is an issue that in 1997 had a lot of stuff that is very, very famous and popular now.
Right. How much residual do you get for that?
I don't know that it's ever been reprinted.
No, I meant for them taking all these ideas now.
Well, they weren't my ideas. It was all based on the Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh, so you're just being modest.
That's Jim Starlin's territory. If the Impossible Man shows up and steals the Infinity Gauntlet in the next movie, then me and
you and Jim are sharing those profits?
Well, no, me and the writer of that What If, who now goes by the name Piper, will be owed something, and we will get nothing.
True that.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
So overall,
I will continue to watch Loki, almost because, well, maybe on some level more because to be part of the conversation, and because I pay for Disney Plus, I might as well watch something.
Right.
And
also, you play solitaire on Wednesday nights, every Wednesday night too. So,
I mean, if that's the thing. Like, I'm watching this show and I'm also playing solitaire. I don't do that with. I mean, if a show's really got me locked in, I'm not playing solitaire.
Right.
When I'm watching, or when I watched Mayor of Easttown, I wasn't playing much solitaire.
Was Loki in that? I missed that.
Loki was not in that.
Oh man.
There were other people causing mischief in that.
Just to give you some hope, Greg, you will be in omnibus number 4 if they get up to number 4. Based on the collection rate.
What
Omnibus
are they on
number 2,
now?
What If omnibus number 2 goes from 23 to 47.
But that's a volume 1.
No, that's volume 2.
Oh, okay.
So there is a volume 2 coming out.
No, but I mean, What If volume 1?
Yeah. Oh, you're in volume 2?
I'm in What If volume 2.
Ooh.
Oh,
yeah, volume 2, I did issue 104, 113, and 114.
Ah. Yeah, you might be a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's never
now,
coming out.
114 has been reprinted. That's in the Secret Wars omnibus, and I did get a residual check for that, a royalty check for that.
There you go.
And I got a free copy of that omnibus. So, I guess there's that. But yeah, I didn't start drawing comics professionally until 1997. So What If Volume 1 had ended well before that?
There's always hope.
I mean, there's enough stuff in Volume 2 that is relevant now that I'm sure at some point, maybe.
Well, I remember reading Volume 1. It was an amazing series. I loved the stories.
What If was a cool series. Now, the question will be when this What If cartoon happens,
Are they
if
gonna use that
any of the
for it?
stuff that I worked on will find its way. I don't think so. And at the risk of continuing to sound like the guy who doesn't like anything, I don't like the look of that cartoon. I thought it was going to be a real cartoon.
I thought you were gonna twist it to tell me you really like the way that looks, but no, you
No.
went with.
Have you seen any of the stuff from that?
Haven't.
I've only seen a few still images, and that they showed parts of it somewhere.
I saw stuff on YouTube, and I found it really distractingly like weird. Like what was the stuff they used to do where they just record a person and then draw over it?
Rotoscoping.
Yeah, it's like rotoscope, but like not even as charmingly junky.
Like the original Marvel cartoons from the 60s.
No,
they
that was
basically just
panels.
took the images from the comics.
No, this is like they've somehow created weird animated versions of the actors in the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And then
like a Scanner Darkly.
Yeah, but not as cool looking. I don't know. I want to be into it, but because I like animation, but I don't know if I like this animation. But then again, I heard a lot of people complaining about the animation in Invincible, and I thought Invincible was great.
Yeah, we talked about that. The animation was a little off for me.
Some episodes were not as strong as others.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could see which episodes maybe didn't have the budget that they used on others, but like the last 2 episodes were awesome.
Right.
The fight scenes were unbelievable. The voice cast was tremendous.
Sequence.
Which one?
The train sequence.
It was awesome. Yeah. So I liked Invincible. I like animation.
Have you watched MODOK?
I have not yet watched MODOK. I have Hulu. I just haven't gotten to.
Talk about something you're not going to like. Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, why not?
Oh. It's bad.
It's bad?
Yeah.
Oh, that means I'll probably love it.
I sort of like hate watch it. So
See,
what I do?
This is probably going to be the thing I like the most.
See, on Friday here up in Canada, we get it on Disney Plus. So Friday, I get to see The Bad Batch, a great episode, and then I watch after that, sort of clear the palate, MODOK.
Interesting.
And do you get Loki the same day?
Yes, we get them on Wednesday.
Very interesting. See, this is actually making me want to watch MODOK.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't want to.
Yeah.
I tend to like things that other people don't like.
Then you'll love it.
And I tend to not like the things that everybody else is super into.
Yeah, in full disclosure, I only saw the first episode, and yeah, no, it was not funny at all to me.
I'm hoping it'll get funny.
This might be what I watch after we are done chatting. You may have pushed it so far up on the list of things to watch, just by virtue of how much you guys dislike it, that it has now made me crazy curious. I'm almost ready to take this headset off and just leave this room and go watch it. Come back in 23 minutes.
And then we'll talk about it. It'll be great.
No, you'll have to have me back. This is my scheme. This is like when George Costanza leaves things behind.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's a teaser. One day I'll come back and talk about MODOK, at least the first episode.
You're never coming back on the show.
I believe you.
No. It's just
because this is the last episode. I understand.
This is it. There's nobody watching anymore.
Well, no. We got 2 extra people now.
Oh, 2 extra people. Awesome.
Yeah. It's Foxy says, "Hey."
Hey. That's a
what
good
up,
comment.
It's Foxy?
And D. Brad goes, "Oh, hey guys, I missed my notification."
Hey, D. Brad. I'm sorry.
I think we gotta take that up with the notification people.
The notification squad.
The notification authority.
The TVA. No, the NVA.
So one last thing about Loki, or maybe not one last thing.
Yeah.
We meet the 3 heads of the TVA.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I will admit, the person in me that has read and knows some stuff about Marvel Comics thought it would be very cool if the 3 people running the TVA are Immortus, Kang, and the Egyptian version of Kang. Can't remember.
Ramatut.
That would be cool. If that was the panel of 3, like the 3 time traveler dudes, I'm like, that would be a big reveal.
Mhm.
When we finally see them, there's nothing in there that looks like Kang. So I was like, all right, fine, I guess. I thought maybe they'd have like the same markings around their heads. And then it's a Wizard of Oz bit.
Mm-hmm.
So, question is, any theories on who the TVA actually are?
Now, just to clear it up for you, I don't do that anymore because we did that for the last couple of shows and I was wrong on everything. Every single thing, every theory I threw out there, I was totally wrong on. Having
Well, look,
said
I just told you my theory that it was going to be the 3 iterations of Kang.
yeah.
I'm happy to be wrong about all of it.
No, I want it to be Kang and I want them to be setting up for the
Avengers.
For the Avengers, yeah.
Phase 4.
You think Kang's going to be in the Avengers or he's going to be in Fantastic Four? I know Kang is an Avengers villain.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know.
But I also know there's a lot of rumblings about the Fantastic Four. People really want to see Reed Richards show up in one of these things.
Well, we thought he was going to show up in WandaVision.
Yeah, the speculation for us was that that's where he was going to show up. But
that's what everybody thought. Why people want to see Reed Richards and not any other member of the Fantastic Four who are cooler and better? I don't understand it.
Oh no, it's because of the reference was to this. I know this scientific guy, this engineer. I don't think we're going to see Johnny come in with a hot rod.
That'd be great. See, that's how they should do it. He's just driving a scene. Like, yo, I'm Johnny Torch. What's up? And they just drive off.
Johnny Torch. That's the way he introduces himself.
Yeah.
Johnny Torch.
I mean, the thing nobody realizes is that the Invisible Woman has been in every one of these things.
Right. No.
Yeah. That's
Maybe she's involved with the
dumb
TVA.
joke.
You know, it'd be hilarious. It's the Council of Reeds that are protecting the timeline.
So that's a thing from that Jonathan Hickman FF stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't follow it. That comic made me feel very stupid. And I know I'm not stupid.
Well, as long as you know that.
I went to college. I did an escape room this week, and we got out.
That's your proof? Right
yeah.
There.
Do you watch Rick and Morty?
Hold on. Have you gotten out of an escape room, Franco?
I'm still in one. I can't get out of this thing.
I have not watched enough Rick and Morty to speak on Rick and Morty.
Because you can talk about the Council of Ricks. It's like the Council of Reeds.
Yes, yeah. I've heard of the Council of Ricks. I know I've heard of the Council of Reeds. I've heard of Student Council. Mm-hmm. I've heard of Council Dracula. Is that anything?
No. That's
I thought it's Castle Dracula. Or Castlevania.
Well, I was going on Count. Okay. Council Dracula.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, and then of course there's Council Von Council.
There's just a Count.
Yeah, that's Count Von Count. Or Council Von Council. Am I going too fast for you, Franco?
I don't understand anything you're talking about. I never escaped the escape room, so I don't know.
Escape rooms are fun.
That brings up a question. You ever you just talked about the Jonathan Hickman Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
And you didn't understand it. Now, have you ever read a comic where you're like, what the hell is happening? Because you know that it makes sense, but you can't make heads or tails of it. Like the example you just brought up with the Hickman Fantastic Four.
There are a lot of comics that have made me feel that way. They're usually written by Jonathan Hickman or Grant Morrison. So with all due respect to those guys.
Grant Morrison ones sometimes are like way over my head. I'm like, what is happening here?
I think I read the first 5 pages of that multiversity thing in the comic shop, and I was utterly baffled, like beyond. And I'm like, okay, this is for somebody, not me.
For me, it's Grant Morrison's Batman run. I just
gone. Like the first 4 issues, I'm like, this is great. And by issue 5, I'm like, wait, what happened last issue? What? Yeah, that happened with a Sea Guy. I read first issue of Sea Guy. I loved it. Second issue, I'm like, this is cool. Third issue, I'm like, did I miss an issue? This is a 3-issue series. I'm so lost and confused.
Third issue, I'm out.
So I've thought about reading We 3 because people speak so highly of it, and I just can't.
But it's only 3 issues.
Yeah, but so was Sea Guy.
Do you think he was building to something, and then the third issue, he's like, "No, I'm out too. I'm writing this, but I'm out."
I don't know. I do not know. But yeah, it happens to me a lot. And then I think either I'm old or I'm stupid or people just make comics differently now, or I don't know.
Or you're just not high enough.
Because during that Batman run, people would write articles online connecting all these dots. I'm like, where are you seeing this? How are you reading this?
And like he'll dig right into the history, pull out something that probably was in a panel, but it meant something to him.
That's all well and good, but making me something to me. I'm reading this thing. Give me something to hold on to. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's where I'm at.
Yeah, see, I don't have a problem with Hickman. I do have problems with Morrison at times.
Yeah, that's who I was going to bring up, because sometimes I'm reading his stuff, and it's weird because when his stuff hits, it hits really well. But then there's other times where, like, and forgive me because I can never remember the exact issues, but like that anti-life equation thing when Batman
Final Crisis?
in the dumpster, like when he picks up that that clue. I forget what it was. I guess it was Final.
It's Final Crisis where Superman whistles at the end or whatever.
I never got
He
to the end.
sings.
I never
He
got to the
sings
end.
at the end.
How do we know? It's a musical note. It was one note. It's a comic. There's no sound in a comic. It's too high. It's too much.
So if no sound in a comic occurs, does a tree fall in the woods?
Exactly.
It does, because they made the comic and that's made of paper, I'm pretty sure.
I feel like if you draw one note, I'm going to read that as a note. That's a whistle or just like a tone. If he's singing, there should be some lyrics, even if it's like la 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 with some musical notes, do 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 something.
But yeah, that
Maybe,
one with Batman and
Superman. Maybe Superman becomes the scat man. Breed up up that up up. You know.
no, I didn't get that. I'm like, I don't know what's happening here. I'm not understanding anything. I'm out. So I was out.
But Franco, Darkseid is.
Is he though?
You know what I mean? I don't know.
Because I never found out if he was or wasn't.
I've heard he is.
I know that we made fun of it in Tiny Titans because we called it a finals crisis because they had to take exams.
Right.
So we made fun of it.
You made fun of it the way Mel Brooks made fun of Star Wars. Like you didn't really care about the original content. You were just making jokes.
No, in the way I interpreted it and understood it, that's the way that's the way I put it down. So,
but there's the theory that like Mel Brooks's earlier parodies were things that he truly loved, so the parodies came from a place of love.
Right.
Whereas Spaceballs was like came just because I need something else to make fun of. Let's pick Star Wars. Without any real affection for the original material. There are people that really dog on Spaceballs.
Why? Because of that?
They say it doesn't hold up. They say it's bad. They say it's not funny.
Some of that could be said about some of his other movies too.
And then the other theory is your favorite Mel Brooks movie or favorite Mel Brooks movies are the movies you see before you are 15.
Well, that's true. What is your favorite Mel Brooks movie? I think we've talked about this.
I don't know if we have. I mean, the ones I remember are Blazing Saddles, History of the World Part 1, Young Frankenstein, and Spaceballs.
Mine is The 12 Chairs.
Nice. That's him being a smart aleck, knowing that was the first movie. Very clever, Franco.
That's the first movie I saw when I was under 15. So.
Wait, that's the first movie you saw in your life?
Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks.
Yeah. But I actually thought it was really funny.
I know as a kid I thought History of the World Part 1 was hilarious.
Yeah, that was too dirty. I couldn't see that as a kid.
I saw a lot of stuff I probably shouldn't have seen as a kid.
Me too, but I missed that one apparently.
We grew up watching Cheech and Chong movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watched a lot of those.
Yeah. Cheech and Chong movies when you're 8. That's a wild scene.
Well, in the chat,
Oh,
Oh,
chat.
my brother is still watching Loki. D. Brad goes, Grant Morrison books confuse me too, but what about Neil Adams' Batman Odyssey?
I've heard that thing's crazy. I've never read it.
It is
there's a
unique.
difference between crazy and not understanding Grant Morrison. I think Neil Adams' Batman Odyssey was just like whatever he could throw down on paper.
But you could still follow it?
No, I never read it.
Okay.
I never read it.
Got
I
it.
never finished it.
But
Ooh,
what you read, could
and
you
you're a big-
follow it?
Yeah, you're a big Batman guy.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Wow. Uh-huh.
Yes, I am a big Batman guy. And I'm a big Neil Adams guy too, so. D. Brad is just checking out your website, Greg. And
Thanks.
the trailer for Pix looks fun.
Ah, thank you.
Pix is a fun book. You should pick it up.
And D. Brad, again, tell us how Greg became an award-winning cookie baker.
Oh, yes.
Or did I miss that?
No, you didn't miss that.
we haven't gotten into that at all.
Oh,
Are you
now we
part of the
that.
Mrs. Fields collection?
No, but this is talk about it. Thank you, D. Brad, for a segue setup that cannot be beat. So for several years, I entered an amateur baking exhibition called the Brooklyn Cookie Takedown, where people would. It was basically like a Comic-Con, where people would bake cookies, bring them to this event, and then other people would pay to come in and try all the cookies and vote on their favorites. So I did this, I think 6 or 7 times, and the first time I did it, I got an judge's honorable mention. The second time, I got a judge's honorable mention. I think the fourth time, I won the big grand prize. That was with an orange zested snickerdoodle. Was my winningest cookie.
Yeah.
Some of the other winners, I got a 3rd place with, what was the last one I made? Oh, a key lime pie thumbprint.
Ooh.
I'll tell you what you didn't win for.
I knew you were going to bring it up. Come on, bring it on, buddy. I will defend myself forever.
No, it wasn't good, Wayne.
No, that version was not great. But I've made other versions that are pretty good, and I'm still convinced it's a good idea.
I don't think so. I don't.
Do you want to explain it, or do you want me to?
I think you have to explain it because I'm not remembering the key elements of the main ingredient here.
All right. So the idea is for a savory cookie, well, a sweet savory cookie, a corn dog cookie, a corn flavored cookie with hot dog pieces as though they were chocolate chips. So it's corn cookie, hot dog pieces.
Yeah.
Now the version Franco tried.
Now look at Wayne's face. He hasn't even tried this cookie. Now I ate this cookie, Wayne.
Okay.
I'm gonna look at Loki here for a second. Ooh, see, there's Loki. And then here's more Black Adam. But yeah. See, Wayne's face is still stuck that way, and we've been like.
All right, Wayne, have you ever had a corn muffin or cornbread?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever had a corn dog?
That's like a pogo, right?
Describe a pogo.
It's a hot dog dipped in batter.
Yes, kind of.
Yeah. So a corn dog, it's dipped in a corn batter.
Okay.
Fried up, it's delicious.
Mm-hmm.
So a corn dog cookie is exactly that in a different format.
So you're saying it's a pizza?
It's a pizza, of course.
No, what he's saying is he defiled, disgraced, diminished the idea of what a real cookie should be.
Okay. Yeah, because a cookie shouldn't be like that.
Now, what's worse is I ate this thing.
With mustard?
No, I hate mustard.
Ketchup.
So that would have never happened.
Sometimes
Ketchup,
I've done.
Yeah, ketchup would have given it the sweetness.
I've done versions where I put a little bit of ketchup in the dough to have that sweetness.
Uh-huh.
But the version you tried did not have that.
Uh-huh. So
Again, I continually try different passes at it to get one that will work. It hasn't worked yet, but I'm still very sure it will work eventually.
it hasn't worked yet. That's awesome.
Well, no, actually, I did have one that worked, but the next day the cookies weren't they didn't hold up overnight. Like they didn't have the same texture, and I want something that's going to at least have the texture, because I was trying to do it for this Brooklyn cookie takedown. And the problem is I'd bake the day before and I'd bring the cookies the next day, so I needed a cookie that would have the right texture and flavor at least 8 hours later.
Right.
And the experience were not working.
So it sounds like a UFC match, the Brooklyn Cookie Takedown.
I mean, so the guy who organized it would do different ones every month, back when it was safe to do them. So there'd be a cookie takedown, there was a chili cake takedown, there was a mac and cheese takedown, and people would come from, I mean, I did a cookie takedown once where the guy next to me had driven up from Pennsylvania and he has since started a cookie business wherever he is in Pennsylvania.
Wow.
Yeah, I've not gone that far, but I've certainly made a lot of cookies.
Question for you, Greg.
Yes.
Again from D. Brad. Are there little bits of sticks in the corn dog cookie too?
If you ask Franco, he'd say there probably were.
I think it would have made it better.
A good idea would be to take a piece of cookie dough and lay a stick down and put the cookie dough on top, so the cookie bakes around the stick, and then you pick it up and eat the cookie on a stick. That's actually not a bad idea.
I'm surprised you didn't think of it yourself.
See, I bake. My wife has a chocolate chip coffee cake.
Okay.
And I usually do that, and I put in Kahlua, Bailey's.
Because it's coffee.
Pretty good.
So what you're saying, Wayne, is your technique of baking is get everybody sloshing drunk. Yeah. So,
I drink and I bake, and then sometimes some of the stuff I drink gets into the batter. It happens.
I made a tres leches cake once with coffee in it. So it was a café con tres leches cake. And I don't particularly like coffee, but it was a big hit. People that had it liked it very much.
No, I don't drink coffee, but I love coffee
flavored things.
Coffee flavored things.
I like the smell of coffee. I do not like the taste of coffee or coffee flavored things.
I don't like the smell of coffee because it often smells like skunk to me.
That's not coffee, Franco.
Yes, it is.
Skunk.
That's something else.
No.
That's what they call the sticky icky, the Mary Jane.
No.
The hashish.
I'm sure there's one other person of the three people that are listening that associate that coffee with the skunk smell.
I would like to know if D. Brad, It's Foxy, or Gary believe that. If any three of you think that coffee smells like skunks, please call in now. Operators are standing by. Yeah.
It's got to be. You've never smelled that skunky smell with coffee?
No. Two things have smelled like skunks in my lifetime: a skunk,
coffee, and skunks,
and marijuana.
No, marijuana smells like marijuana.
Yeah, like a skunk. And then apparently, I don't drink beer, but apparently, if a beer has gone south, they say it is skunked. I've heard that. Wayne, can you verify that a beer can be skunked?
Yes, a beer can be skunky, but it's not that it smells like a skunk. It's just that it's gone bad.
Right.
Yeah.
And my brother disagrees that marijuana smells like cookies.
See?
Wait, he doesn't agree that marijuana smells like cookies?
Yeah, or smells like coffee.
Right. Okay.
Sorry, coffee.
See, so that's one for
Brad, I do not think that coffee smells like skunk. I like coffee though.
See, that's why, because people who like coffee don't smell it that way.
Yeah,
I don't like coffee.
But it depends on the bean and the flavor that you can get with your coffees. Because I love coffee, but I can't drink caffeinated anymore because I drank too much of it.
And we all learned from Blazing Saddles what beans will do.
Oh yes.
Well, it's not the same kind of beans.
I know, but I'm putting it all together. I'm connecting all the dots, Franco.
Oh, I see.
I'm putting the puzzle together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I don't like that.
All right, I have another question for the chat.
Yeah.
I'm going to switch the subject up. So at some point, we're going to continue to talk about snacks. So I have 3 snacks, and I don't know which one to try. I bought these today. So the first one is Pringles rotisserie chicken flavored.
Let's put it up. Oh, okay. Ew.
The second one is Hers potato chips fire roasted sweet corn flavored.
Well, you should only do that if they have hot dogs in it.
I do have a hot dog I could microwave.
Ew.
And then I got a free sample of this Wise roasted green pepper potato chips. So in the chat, please vote on which one I should try. I'm only trying one.
Well, didn't you ever try in England? I had someone at work, my boss at work, who has since retired, and I have not spoken to him in years now. But he was a big, I guess, would you call it Anglophile? So he's very into English.
Yes.
So that's what you call it, right?
Yeah, they're Anglophiles.
Right. So he would come back often. He would take trips, and then he would order stuff and have it come. And he would bring like potato chips that were like liver and onion flavored. All these different ones that they had in England, like ketchup flavored chips. Before I had heard of any of this stuff around here.
Yeah.
He would go to like markets, like very unique markets that would carry this stuff, or he would order it and have it sent, and he would always bring it, and I would always try it, just like I tried your corn dog cookie, because you have to try it once. You have to. I will never eat it again, no matter how many times you offer it to me, but I have to. And those were some of the most disgusting potato chips I've ever eaten, were the liverwurst and onions ones, or the liver and onions ones, not liverwurst and onions, and the ketchup flavored ones, and they were just gross ones. Have you ever tried any of those?
So I've tried in the past year or so or more, Lay's potato chips has put out special flavors every season. They put out like 3 limited edition flavors.
And you get to vote on them.
Well, now they just put them out.
Oh, we get to vote on them up here.
Do you?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think they did that early on. You could vote.
Yeah.
Like there was like chicken and waffles and some others you could vote. But now they just put out like, here are 3 flavors for a limited time. And during the pandemic, when there was nothing else to do, the times I would leave, I would go out hunting for these things and try and find them when I could. Target was usually pretty good. So here are ones I tried. I wrote these down because I knew we were going to talk about. These are chips I have tried in the past year that I can remember. Of the Lay's brand, I tried the Nashville hot chicken ones, the Philly cheesesteak ones, the chili relleno ones, the carnitas ones, the Grimaldi's pizza ones, beer cheese, fried green tomato, hot sauce, crispy taco, and then the most recent 3 were mango chili, BLT, and jerk chicken.
All of those sound really disgusting.
I tell you, the ones that are memorably good, the carnitas one were awesome. The Grimaldi's pizza ones were delicious. The beer cheese were surprisingly very good.
Beer cheese. Wow.
And crispy taco was the best. Crispy taco tasted like a Taco Bell taco. It was awesome.
Did it have the same effect after having a Taco Bell taco?
I'm able to eat a Taco Bell taco and walk away unscathed. So, yes.
Maybe they make them different in Canada.
Maybe.
Yeah. We have 2 votes for the Pringles.
All right, Franco, what's your vote?
I'm gonna say it's got to be the Pringles, because that's got to be the other 2 seem kind of tame compared to that one, I would think.
All right, so majority rules. I'm gonna crack into these Pringles, and I'll let you know. I also like to try various Oreo flavors when those come out. I've tried a lot of the recent Oreo varietals.
Did you have the Lady Gaga flavor?
I did not, because everything I read about those basically said they were golden Oreos.
But they have sparkles in them.
Smell test first.
We got to go full.
They don't. Oh no. I mean, the smell gets better the more you smell it. Like my nose gets used to it.
Does it smell like a skunk at all?
No.
Okay.
Now I'm going to mute myself as I crunch because I know some people do not like the sound of crunching and chewing.
Oh. All right.
They don't smell like rotisserie chicken. Let's say that out of the gate.
What do they smell like?
I'm trying to. You know what? They smell like a bouillon cube.
Okay. Well, the other thing that you have to do, you'll mute yourself, but you have to put two of them together and do like the duck lips, you know, that people do when they eat Pringles.
Yeah, let me try one first, and then we'll do stunts.
Oh, we're doing stunts. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What happens if you don't survive the first one? We'll never see the stunt.
Well, you'll see me drop out of frame, and then somebody call an ambulance.
Do you have also just a generic question? Do you have a spit bucket near you?
Nope. I just have water to wash it down.
Oh, so you're just gonna go for it. All right.
Yeah.
All
Spit
right.
bucket. I bought a whole canister of these things. All right, here we go.
Oh, there he goes. Okay. He's muting himself. There's crunch, crunch. I'll make the sound effects. Crunch, 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 crunch. Ooh, wow, that's pretty good. It's not. Oh, he's going for another one. There's no indication of whether he likes it or not, but I'm gonna go. He might because he's gone. Oh, he's going for the duck bill. That's what he's doing. Let's see. He doesn't know how to do it. There you go. Yay! Crunch, crunch, crunch. I'm making the sound effect for him. He's not. Oh, he's going for the water because he needs a spit bucket. Oh, this is awful. This has got to be the worst hour we've ever done, Wayne.
Well,
we've done 20 of these.
We have a Canadian history moment for you
Oh,
from D. Brad. In
Yeah, tell me.
Canada, in the late 70s, Hostess Chips tried out fruit-flavored chips.
ooh.
The fruit-flavored chips were cherry, orange, and grape, and it bombed.
Well, there you go. All right, he's coming back now.
All right.
All right, what's the verdict?
They're perfectly edible. They're very
So they need
seasoned.
gravy.
Well, there's no real chicken. They just taste like seasoned chips.
Mm-hmm.
There's no real chicken flavor. They just taste like they are seasoned.
But how
So-
would you know chicken flavor?
So
Because in the Matrix, we're not too sure.
so here's how I know chicken flavor. To me, the flavor of chicken comes from chicken fat. That's a very distinctive flavor.
Whoa.
Have you ever eaten a chicken thigh?
No. I mean, yes, but I don't like chicken fat.
Have you ever eaten it?
Any kind of fat, like on a rib, on a steak, on chicken, I can't do it.
Have you ever eaten a chicken wing? Have you ever eaten a chicken wing?
I don't like chicken wing. I mean, I have to try them because everybody has to once, right?
So you don't like chicken wings?
No.
And when you eat a chicken thigh, do you take the skin off or do you eat
Yes.
the skin?
No, take the skin off.
So, continued analysis of these chips. They're fine. I'll end up eating the whole thing eventually.
Fine.
They don't taste like chicken. Now, what's interesting is a week or so ago, I got a tube of Pringles that were onion ring flavored.
Uh-huh.
And on first taste, I'm like, these don't taste like, these just taste like onion chips. They don't taste like onion rings at all. The next day when I had another one, I tasted the onion ring, like the breading aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
And those are pretty good. And I've not been able to find those since.
So
That might have
basically,
been,
so basically what happened is you had the first one or you had a couple the day before and they integrated with your DNA and into your system. So they rewrote your DNA for you to like them the second time. That's what happened there. I'm pretty sure.
yeah, I think it's called pRNA.
Mm-hmm.
Gets into your genetic code.
Yep.
So
I
yeah,
believe
these aren't bad. They're not great. They're fine. They don't taste like rotisserie chicken, but they are new.
They're new, brand new.
So we know that much. I mean, I could keep eating them, but I also have cookies in my kitchen that I'd rather eat.
So the verdict is we don't like them. That's what I'm hearing.
No, I'll eat them eventually
Yeah.
in time. I don't, you eat them in portion size. Now, the reason I drank water, Franco,
Yeah.
was A, to sort of get the flavor to sort of move around in my mouth.
Ew.
And then sometimes it can cause a bit of the scent to go up into your sinuses, and that'll help you identify certain flavors, in
Ew.
my experience.
Or clear your sinuses.
Certain things will clear your sinuses, sure.
Because this is what they do at Nathan's famous hot dog challenge.
No, they're dunking things in the water.
Yeah, they dunk things in the water to heighten the sense, I believe.
I'm not dunking chips in water. That's going to help nobody. That doesn't help the chip or the water.
If you're doing the duck bill with the Pringles, you have to. I think that's part of the.
Well, you have to be like that. You have to be like that thing that dips into the water, whatever that weird bird thing.
Yep.
That Homer used to push the button in that episode of The Simpsons. One of the few episodes I can actually reference.
Yeah. Pretty sure that's it.
It's the only Simpsons episode I know. I know there's one with a monorail. I don't know that I've ever seen it.
I wouldn't be able to name anything for you right now.
Oh, yeah? You can't name the kids in The Simpsons?
Yeah, I think there's Peanut.
Yep.
And Billy.
Yep.
Pretty sure.
And then what's the one that plays the saxophone?
Oh, well, that's Bart.
Yep. We know everything about The Simpsons.
And that monorail episode is based on The Music Man.
Where they had trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a capital T.
Yeah.
Well, D-Brad has a question for you, Greg. Speaking of chips, tell me about that superhero book.
Great segue. Speaking of chips, perfect.
Did you pay D-Brad?
I don't know who D-Brad is, but he's my favorite person on this Zoom.
Wow.
He's a fellow Canadian.
All right, perfect.
D-Brad's a good man.
So, Superhero Universe is a coloring book I put out in November of last year, available at Amazon.com, and it is a collection of animal superheroes. Let's see, like this guy.
Oh, hold on. Let's get there.
Warhorse, who is my super soldier strategist hero. And basically I have created a series of superheroes based on classic superhero types. There's my Speedster, Quick Fast, the Fleet Fox.
Quick Fast. I love that.
And basically I was creating these characters over the course of a couple of years. This is the one I was drawing earlier, Watermane, the lion, who almost was going to be a horse, but lion was cooler looking. And there are also villains, like the Pandroid.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And I'll show one more. Let's see, which one should I show? Oh, this one. People like this guy. Hot Wing.
I love it.
So it's a book full of those, and I'm actually working on something where I have some story ideas. So I want to turn them into some stories.
Yeah, I was going to say, why don't you do a book?
I am working up some story outlines currently, and the idea is to put out some books.
That'd be awesome. I would get those books. I have never ever bought any of your books ever before, but that one I might buy.
Well, D-Brad says it's very creative names that you.
Thank you. The names was half the fun. Although I want to give credit where credit is due. Warhorse, our friend Jacob Shabbat came up with Warhorse. We were taking a train up to Schenectady, New York, and I was showing him my sketchbook of all these animals I was coming up with, and I was trying to design that character. The design on that character took a long time. And then I found the symbol for the United States Cavalry, which is a very specific logo. I'm like, oh, I'm going to make the costume out of that logo. In the same way that Captain America's costume is out of the flag and blah, blah, blah. And who's the Russian Captain America? What's that guy's name? Red Guardian?
Crimson Dynamo? No.
Red Guardian.
Red Guardian, yeah.
Like he doesn't have like the hammer and sickle on his like he's on that flag. So anyway, we were on this train and I was like, yeah, I don't really know what his name's gonna be. and I had like a list of names, and he's like, "What about Warhorse?" And I'm like, "That's
Perfect.
like beyond perfect." And we were off there. And so yeah, the names were fun. Sometimes the names came first. Sometimes the names came after I started drawing, and figuring out what animal was going to have what powers.
Jacob Shabbat is irritating that way, where he comes up with genius stuff.
He's very clever.
Oh.
Like one of them, my shrinking character. So that was it. Sometimes I'd start with like, what is a character type that exists? And there are shape changers.
Mm-hmm.
So my shrinking character, I wanted to make a shrinking character, and I tried different animals. I ended up settling on an alligator, and that character's name is Scale. So it's double meaning.
I get it.
Yeah. There's another one now. I'm trying to remember what. Hold on, I gotta flip through the book.
Now I'm jealous. I want to come up with some of these and work on the book with you now.
Ah, look at this. Isn't this a wild scene? Oh, this was a very exciting one. Speaking of cows, actually no, the one I was thinking of was a cat. So I had a character that was going to be a rabbit. That was the multiplying character, like the multiple man or triplicate girl or what have you. So it was going to be a rabbit named Ditto.
Oh, that's
like
funny.
Photocopies.
Right.
And then I decided, no. I think a better name is Copycat, and it would be a cat.
Cat, yeah.
And it was originally a bobcat, but then I ended up making it a house cat that can make 9 duplicates of itself. So there's Copycat.
Love it.
Thanks. Me too.
No, it actually is something like, that sounds really cool. And I know I've stated that I would never, ever work with you, ever. Publicly, I've stated this. But I may change my mind because of this.
Well, let me put these books together, and then we'll see what happens with it. And then if it becomes a huge masterful success, then the arc is open and everybody's welcome.
There you go.
We could, I mean, which is an appropriate metaphor with animals.
There you go.
Look at that.
You should start a company called the Ark.
Surely somebody has that.
I don't know.
Surely somebody is making pet food called the Ark or something to that effect. Or not. Thank you for asking, D. Brad.
Yeah. It's cool
Giving
stuff. I like
me opportunities to promote my things. Oh,
That's
shucks.
That's what we're all about. The two
Wait,
people
that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create a company to compete with Aw Yeah, and it's going to be called Aw Shucks.
Oh, shucks.
Aw
Or
Shucks
no.
Comics. The Humble Comics.
Oh, no, comics.
But do you say Aw No?
No, we never have.
I want to keep everything. I want the logo to be exactly the same, but I'm just going to change Yeah to Shucks.
Jolly G. Willikers, Mr. Kent.
And then somebody else can make Aw Dang.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Because I just got notification, and I'm saying it first here live. I should possibly most likely be doing New York Comic Con because I'll be in the Artist Alley at New York Comic Con. Will you be there possibly? Maybe.
Unlikely.
Unlikely. Okay.
Yeah. When is New York Comic Con?
Who knows?
Okay.
First weekend in October, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, first or second weekend. Yes.
Yeah.
The last time I did New York Comic Con was in 2015. No, 2014. And it was not a great show for me. And I think some of those bigger shows, I get a little lost in the shuffle.
Right.
I tend to like the smaller shows. And at a certain point, I really liked doing book festivals, and I like doing school visits, that sort of thing. It's a much more contained audience for the kinds of things I do, which is more kid stuff. Not that you don't do kid stuff, but you're Franco. People know who you are.
Well, and I do school visits almost like every day.
Yeah, and you work at yeah.
Right.
It's a whole different animal. What do I draw? What do I draw now?
It's October 7th to the 10th.
Okay. I mean, that's like pre-Halloween times. That's when you gotta start really working out so you can earn the candy.
Yeah, oh, geez.
Oh no, that's Baltimore, because Baltimore's before Halloween.
Oh, that's gonna be trouble.
That's
When is Baltimore? That's in September, though, right?
That's
Baltimore.
No.
That's 2 weeks after New York Comic Con.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? So it's later October.
Yep.
Interesting.
Because I'm finding out about that as we speak, so we'll be updating accordingly.
A different announcement for a different day.
Yeah. Because I like doing, well, New York's my hometown, but I like Baltimore. It's a very comic centered show, so I like it a lot.
Yeah, Baltimore's a
Yeah.
good one. I do
Yeah.
like Baltimore.
Baltimore is October 22nd to the 24th.
Interesting. Very interesting. Something to think about. But even so, I mean, that's right. That basically Halloween sets off the holiday season where eating is out of control. So you kind of have to tread lightly.
Right. Well, there's no more out of control for me. Because there can't be. But
D. Brad has an idea for you, Greg.
All right.
You can have Reaction Cat for your Ashok comics.
yeah.
Sister Bear. Reaction Cat and Sister Bear.
Oh, we already have a Reaction Cat.
Damn it. Response Cat.
But he can.
Inaction Cat.
He can. We have an Inaction Cat too.
What?
Yeah. But you can borrow him.
No, I got to come up with a different opposite, a different
Okay.
Bizarro. Well, okay, so if all yeah goes to aw shucks, if it's about humility and like shying away, so there'd be Action Cat. Maybe it would be like Demurring Cat or Blushing Cat. You don't have a Blushing Cat, do you?
No.
Yes.
It could be just Sit Still Cat. It could be that.
Could be
Instead of
Dead
Action
Cat.
Calm Cat. Relax Cat.
Chill Cat.
Chill Cat.
I've inked so many things today. Look what I've inked so far.
I'm gonna draw Chill Cat.
I've done this. Let's see. Well, it's going to look much better. It looks really weird right now, but it's going to look much better in the colors. I have very specific ideas for colors. So
Wait, it's not
Yeah,
gonna be
like
his usual colors.
he will, but I want to do cool things in the background. So this one is my Joker guy, and there's Miles Morales. I've done
There you
this.
go.
That's what I've done.
I like the collar you gave Miles Morales there. It's almost like a Nightwing collar.
Yeah, I changed it up.
He did.
Changed it up.
He kept it groovy.
And cookies. Sorry, I got distracted by a text from my wife.
Sure.
Cookies. What's your favorite overall? Giant size cookie. Not giant size, just cookie in general.
All right, I'm gonna ask some specifics to narrow down the field.
No, it's not narrowing down any field. It can't have any hot dogs in it.
No. Well, the question is,
But
are we
other than that,
talking
what's your
about-
favorite cookie?
there's packaged cookies, there's bakery cookies, and there's cookies you make yourself.
Yeah. So out of those, which is your favorite cookie?
I mean,
Overall
I'm incapable of picking an overall favorite. There are several that I have real affection for. I like a black and white cookie.
There's nothing wrong with a black and white cookie.
Delicious.
It's
A good black and white cookie.
It's the
That's the
perfect
thing.
balance.
So some black and white cookies are not great. The ones that
No.
are too cakey, not
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
There needs to be there has to be a firmness to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like an
Tenderness.
Oreo.
Not crispy.
Yeah.
I do love an Oreo. Packaged cookie Oreo might be the best. And I might go Oreo double stuff. Because why not?
And they're dangerous too, because you can't just eat one or two of those. It's awful.
I have been able to eat just 2 Oreos and walk away. It's
You're
wild.
better than I am.
It's wild.
What about subcat? I know that I'm going to jump around here, but what about subcategories? So in the Girl Scout realm,
Samoa's number 1.
no, it's got to be Thin Mints all the way.
Thin Mints are one of the most overrated cookies in all of cookiedom.
No, not at all.
Yes, at all.
Once you start putting coconuts in things, you lost me.
Samoa, and then Tagalongs.
No.
Those are the top 2.
Those are the 2 worst Girl Scout cookies ever made. Wayne,
Top 2.
you You're feeling
Wow, we don't have all those flavors up here. We only have the mint one, the mint cookies. We have the golden, and some black and white chocolate thing. Not even chocolate, with a white.
Let me ask this: do you have Girl Scout Cookies of America? Do you have Girl Scout
It's
cookies?
Girl Guides of Canada.
Oh, okay, all right.
Girl Guides of Canada.
Now, are they the same? Have you tasted the Girl Scout cookies here? I'm probably sure they're made by the same company, so I'm wondering. You know, and they export them out to Canada.
All I know is whenever I see them, and I look and I ask, "Do you have the mint ones?" No. Oh, okay.
Oh,
sorry.
Yeah.
I'll buy a whole case of your mint ones, no problem.
Thin mints are so dramatically overrated as a cookie.
And you can freeze them.
Yes, I love them.
I would rather eat a frozen peppermint patty any day of the week. Any day of the week.
Yeah. So now I have gone the sugar-free route.
Okay.
For various reasons, but mainly because you know, my doctor says you don't want to die. So
sure, I don't want you to die either. So have at it.
So I've done a search. I've searched high and low in different places. So I found a company called Cheryl's Cookies that do some pretty awesome sugar-free cookies, and I've tried all of their flavors, and their chocolate chips and their lemon cookies are actually pretty good.
And so, what are they using as their sweetener?
I have no idea. All I read was sugar-free, so now I bought a box of them and they're sitting in the freezer.
Got it.
What I do. And every once in a while, I will go have one. So, yes. But before that, overall favorite cookie, it would be, yeah. See, because I'm having trouble defining it. If it's bakery, you know, that's a hard one. If it's packaged cookies, if we're going down the road of splintering them off into the different sections,
yeah,
I would say I like Oreos or fudge striped cookies.
Fudge stripes are good.
The EL fudge ones, right?
EL fudge or fudge stripes?
Fudge stripes.
Okay, yeah.
But I like those. Those are kind of good in packaged. It's a toss up between Oreos and those. But Oreos I would eat more of. Bakery cookie would have to be like a good chocolate chip from the bakery cookie, like, you know, because it's not like a regular chocolate chip cookie, you know, because it's almost like the sugar cookie dough with chocolate chips in it, you know,
like an Italian bakery.
Yeah.
I do like those sandwich ones with the jam in the middle. They're dipped in chocolate.
Ooh, no.
Love those.
Jam has no reason being in cookies.
To me, a bakery cookie for me, I like aforementioned black and white, and I like a rainbow cookie because that's one I will not make at home. It's too labor intensive.
Right. And well, the rainbow cookie for me has to have like a little bit of jam. If it's too much jam, it throws it all out of whack.
It shouldn't be super.
I will tolerate, you know, jam or jelly in. Yes.
Is a rainbow cookie.
Yes. And now I want all of these cookies now because we're talking. This was a stupid idea to talk about all these. Because
now you guys have Fudgios down south?
Describe a Fudgio.
A Fudgio would be fudge filling in the middle, but then two chocolate cookie parts.
A sandwich cookie, like a fudge sandwich cookie.
Yeah, but again, it's just it's like an Oreo but with fudge in it.
Right. Yeah, I don't know that they call them Fudgio because they have like I think here they'd be called EL fudge or something like that, right?
But EL fudge, the cookies are vanilla.
Right. Well,
no, I think it's one chocolate, one vanilla, with the fudge in the middle.
Because I have that with a glass of milk. Oh, it's great. Fudgios.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It sounds good.
I don't think they're called Fudgios here, though.
No, I don't think so. Although I will say my favorite Canadian confection, and they do not sell in the United States anywhere, is the Wonder Bar. It's a candy bar. It's so good.
Yeah.
Do you know it, Wayne?
Yeah, Cadbury, I believe.
Yes. It's chocolate on the outside, and then it is like a tube of caramel. And inside the tube of caramel is like chopped up peanuts and chopped up puffed rice with a little bit of peanut butter. And it is awesome. When I went to TCAF in 2015, I bought a lot of Wonder Bars, brought them back home. Full size minis, and they just all went in my freezer, and they lasted me a year. I really paced them out.
Nice.
So, yeah, that's my favorite Canadian confection, Wonder Bar.
Well, what about
And I'm not into Coffee Crisp.
Yeah, what about candy bars? If we're going into candy bars, what are your favorite candy bars?
In Canada, it's a Wonder Bar.
Right.
In the United States, do you consider Reese's Peanut Butter Cups a candy bar?
I'll allow it. Yeah.
Then it's that.
Huh. Interesting.
And then Twix is up there as well.
I like a good Twix, but my overall favorite is Milky Way Dark.
Really?
Not Milky Way. Milky Way Dark. Yes.
That's a modern candy bar.
Yeah.
Milky Way Dark. Huh.
It used to be. I used to like Milky Ways, and I used to like Three Musketeers. Well, I still like them. I just don't have them. And then Nestle Crunch, because the Nestle, with the rice in it.
Yeah.
But then they came out with Milky Way Dark, and I'm like, what is this? What is this witchcraft?
What alchemy is this?
What have they concocted here?
Yeah.
And that has quickly become my favorite. And people have found out about this and will buy them for me.
And they got to stop doing that.
They do have to stop doing that, although I appreciate it very much. But because every time they would buy them and give them to me, I would eat them. So that's a dangerous thing.
You just reminded me of a thing that happened at Baltimore Comic-Con. I can't even remember what year it was, but we were walking out of the show, and there were people from the Drake's company giving out devil dogs.
Right.
Wayne, do you know what the devil dog is?
No.
It looks like, okay.
No,
So
I was trying to think if I saw one. I don't think I
The devil
have.
dog is two chocolate cakes, like a very dense chocolate cake with a white cream in the middle.
Okay.
So they're giving out individual packets of these devil dogs.
Now, if you eat them by yourself or by itself, there's a very good chance of you dying because of choking hazard. It's you need something to drink with it because that's how dense the
Yes, the cream to cake ratio
it's
is
not good.
dangerous.
Right.
So we were walking out, they were giving these out, and I think I cracked the joke of, you have to be out here, like you have to get rid of all these to go home. And the woman said, I think she said, yeah. And like, well, we'll take them. And Chris Girusso had his rolling luggage and it was empty. And he opened it up and she just poured the entire bag of these things in. And I was eating 2 of those for breakfast. They threw them in the hotel freezer section. So they got good and like cold.
Yeah, I love them frozen.
Oh, and I would bust.
Let me ask you this, because this is a dangerous thing that's happened to me. They came out with the fudge dipped devil dogs. Do you know about these?
I've seen them. I have not. So when I see them in the store, I'm very tempted.
Yeah.
But I want to buy them in an individual package, so I don't have a whole box of them.
Okay, because that's smart, because they are very dangerous. And I made the mistake of finding out about them and posting on Facebook.
Oh no.
And asking why no one had told me about them. And I was very upset with everybody because they hadn't told me about them. And in the course of the next week, I had received 5 different boxes from different people. And
that's a fan base, baby.
I am ashamed to say
they're all gone.
That I ate all of them. So that will not be happening ever again, by the way.
Right.
But yes, I'm ashamed to say that. Yeah, I did that.
D. Brad wants to know: do you guys have coffee crisp down south?
They are imported from Canada, so we do. You can get them in certain stores where they carry them, but it is not an American candy bar.
Now, of all of these Hostess and Drakes, what is your favorite? Is it the Devil Dog? Is it Yodel?
Ring Ding.
Ring Dings are good.
Of now, Drake's, Ring Ding.
If it's a Ring Ding or a Hostess coffee cake, crumb cake, the coffee cake, the round ones. No, not Ring Ding is that's it. Yeah, it's different.
But I'm saying if I have to choose between the two, I'm choosing a Ring Ding.
Right. But Hostess has a coffee cake, cinnamon coffee cake. Those are my absolute favorite. I would eat those.
Drake's also makes a coffee cake.
Not the same.
And then from Little Debbie, it's the Nutty Bar.
No, Little Debbie. No Little Debbie's. Nothing. We don't need anything Little Debbie's. Entenmann's has to be the chocolate covered donuts because I can eat
donuts.
No, go away. You're off the show for your band.
The chocolate donuts are good too, especially when they're cold.
I love them cold, and I will eat boxes of them at a time.
Not anymore.
That's how disgusting I was. But yeah, I cannot eat just one. I would have a box down here in my studio in my drawer. I would have them, and it was and not the mini ones. You can't have the mini ones. The mini ones are not the same as the larger ones. There's difference to them.
There you go. There's my competing cat.
Well, let me see. I got to see him. There he is.
Chillaxin cat.
Lovely.
I apologize for the tangent on the tail there. That was a mistake.
Yeah. Does that? I know it bothers G. Russo a lot.
Yeah.
Does that bother you quite a bit?
I don't notice them as much as he does.
Right. He will point. He will go out of his way to point them out to me, and they don't bother me.
He's very good at pointing them out, and I typically, if he catches them, I will usually change it because he's not wrong.
Yeah, but I don't like to change them just to annoy him. So that's just me.
That is you. That is classically you. That is 1000%.
Brad has a question for the two of you.
Ooh,
do you guys want to talk about your origin story, about how the two of you have met?
No, I don't want to get into that at all.
I'll get very deep into it.
Does it involve devil dogs?
No, but it involves the aforementioned Chris Girusso.
It does.
And Jacob Shabbat. So they met Art and Franco before I did.
Sorry.
Hey.
Hi. Hi there.
Yeah, they met Art and Franco at a Philadelphia Comic-Con. And then I heard about Art and Franco.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I met Art first. But I don't remember. I think we must have met at a convention of some kind. I don't remember which one.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
But we met through...
it was at a convention. Yeah.
I'm going to say we met through Chris Girusso
mm-hmm.
as the connection point.
But I don't remember where we met or our first interaction at all.
Nor do I.
So that's the origin that we can't remember.
Yeah.
We have driven long distances together.
We've definitely done that. We have grilled meats together.
We've traveled long distances by plane separately, but in the same destination and spent time together.
It's possible that we first met at San Diego the night you won.
Now that you're saying that, I think so.
The Eisner. Yeah.
Very possible.
Because at that point I'd met Art,
mm-hmm.
but I think that was the first time I actually met you.
I think that may be
Chris
correct.
might be able to confirm that, but that is my recall.
He remembers things like that. Yeah.
Yeah. But yes, we have done road trips a number of times.
Yes, and had conversations just like like this one.
with a little bit more like, inside,
inside baseball stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Inside baseball. Yeah, I think the last big drive was ALA in DC.
Oh, right. Uh-huh.
We drove back.
That's right. Yeah, I was going to say we didn't drive there together because I drove with Mark.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Did I take a train or did I get a ride from somebody else? I took a train and I was supposed to ride back with
someone else. And then
Jamar Nicholas.
Right.
No, not Jamar. No, who was I supposed to ride back? That was Baltimore. Was Jamar?
I don't remember. Anyway.
Maybe I did ride down with. No, I didn't ride down with you. I must have taken the train.
Yes.
Yeah.
We annoy each other thoroughly. I know that.
I would say we do not annoy each other thoroughly. I think we are. I don't have the word right now. I don't know. There's a word, but it's not annoyed. I am not annoyed by you at all.
No. I was being.
Here it is. We test each other.
That's true.
You like to push each other's buttons.
No,
But
it's not even
it's not
that.
intentional. It's not an intentional button pushing. It's
No,
just like
it's not button pushing. I think Greg is right. It's testing.
yeah, our sine waves bump at just like at certain like they're little tangent points of our individual sort of wavelengths, and they bump and sometimes they crisscross, but it's all in good cheer and good fun. There's no
I have to say
antagonism.
that on the trips that we've taken together, they're some of my favorites because the conversations are very interesting. In
Thank you.
terms of what we talk about and it's not even the inside baseball stuff. It would be stuff like, what's your favorite cookie, and
Yeah.
the reasoning behind them is what kind of drives me and I think is fascinating, and how
Well,
diametrically opposed we are with
yes,
it.
that's what I was saying. We disagree
Mhm.
regularly,
Yes,
and yet it's nothing to be upset about.
right.
Like
Well,
the
yeah,
disagreement is over this like silliness.
right. If I had a disagreement with someone, it's upsetting. It's like I don't want to talk to that person anymore. The disagreements I have with Greg are, it's fascinating, but I want to talk to you again type thing. It's
Well,
not an annoying thing.
and they're not make or break, and we have our reasons.
Right.
And it's like, all right, I don't think, I mean, I can eat a Thin Mint. I think they're overrated.
Right.
I can make that very bold claim.
Mm-hmm.
And you can say, Samoas are disgusting. And we're like, all right, more for me, more for you. Everything's good. We don't have to share.
Right. It never gets to the point where it's like, oh, I'm never, F that guy. I'm never going to talk to him again. It's never gotten
Right.
even remotely close to that.
And I think also because when we talk about what we do, we tend to agree.
Mhm.
Like when we talk about comics and the kinds of comics we read and the kinds of comics we want to make, like we're never in a like, why would you want to make comics like that? Like we tend to be in the same sort of pool of what we're trying to do, where we're trying to do it, how we like to, those and the people we want to be around. We
Right.
tend to like the same people, which
Yeah.
is good.
Yeah. No, we're friends. We've been friends for a long
Yes.
time. But one of the more interesting conversations we ever had was me declaring that I will never work with you.
Yes. Which we talk about on my podcast.
Right.
Which we did. So if anybody wants to hear more conversation with me and Franco, I did a podcast for about 4 years called Stuff Said.
Are you still doing that occasionally or not really?
The last episode I did, I think is at this point probably 3 years old. It might be 4. It was I had recordings. So I want to say this was in 2004, 2005. A couple of friends of mine wanted to make a movie about women in comics. And they got as far as recording an interview with Flo Steinberg and interviews with people at Small Press Expo in 2005. And I had all that footage. So I took the audio from the Flo Steinberg interview and pieced it together to create a tribute style episode after she had passed with those snippets and then a couple of voicemails she had left me because she lived around the corner from me in New York. So I would see her every now and again, and we had lunch a few times. So that's the last episode I did. I've thought about new episodes. I've thought about themed episodes. I've thought about doing a run of a theme of a thing. But that show was so much work. Like the amount of research I used to do and the amount of preparation and all that, and it wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. Like my idea was I'll do this podcast. It'll be good. And that will lead to people buying my comics or me being invited to conventions to moderate panels. And none of that stuff really happened. And I'm like, oh, I'm putting hours and hours and hours into this show. Like the episode that kind of broke me was I did an episode with Robert Kirkman. And the interview itself, I think, was like 3.5 hours long. So I had to edit that down into something. And then I had this idea of doing an April Fool's episode with a fake Robert Kirkman, spelled Kurk. And we had done one of those before. And when we do those, you have to write the show. You have to come up with the premise, and you have to write basically an outline for this interview, and then you have to record it and piece the whole thing together. So we did that, and that was hours of writing and building. And I'm very proud of that April Fool's episode. I think it's really good satire, and I recommend people listen to that as well. But I was doing that, and we were doing the Tom Cruise podcast at the same. I was just recording hours of audio.
the Tom Cruise one is the one that gets me more upset. But yeah,
I know it does. I know it does. I apologize for mentioning it. But I was making all these audio shows, and nobody was donating it. Like there was no money coming in.
Right.
And I switched. I stopped doing Stuff Said for a while, and then I came back with it, where it was just gonna be a much more relaxed show. And it just the drive to do it wasn't as there. I'm very, very proud of the show. I think the interviews hold up.
Yeah, we talked. We had a very in-depth conversation, and that's where it came up where I would never work with you.
Well, it had come up before, but then we talked about it on mic. Yeah.
In detail. Yeah.
Yes.
I liked your Stuff Said show. It's so unlike this show, and this is the difference between you and I. Is your show is very meticulous, is very planned, very researched. I just like slap a camera up and say, "Hey, come on in," and like there's a lot of dead air, a lot of space between things.
Yeah.
And we just ramble on for just whatever. And then when I draw what I feel like drawing, and don't draw when I don't feel like drawing.
Right. Which is what I started doing with Stuff Said after I switched. So I did an episode with Chris Eliopoulos, which was just that. Like we just talked, and I did very little editing, and that was the show. And I might have done one or two more, and then I did an episode of Stuff Said that got a lot of attention. The episode's called "The Names Have Been Changed."
I remember that one. Yeah.
And that one, I'm very proud of it. I think it's a really good episode, but that one got a lot of attention, which is great. But again, that was a show that I wrote. I produced this thing. I put, you put the music in, and it's a lot of content, which I like doing. It's very sad. I like making things, whether it's comics or cookies or podcasts or whatever. But I get an idea in my head, and I want it to come out a certain way.
Right.
And that requires work and effort and time. And it's like, all right, I love doing it.
The ideas that you have are brilliant.
Thank you.
Like you're Cruising Together podcast, which is all about Tom Cruise movies. I wanted to be on that one so badly. And you said, well, I had to be live in the studio with you guys. That was your first
stipulation.
Yes, thank you.
Correct.
And then I found out shortly afterwards that someone couldn't be live, so you did it with them over the phone or Skype, and then that annoyed me. And then it turned out to be I will never be on one of these, because now you've actually run out of Tom Cruise movies. So
here's what I could tell you about that. So yes, originally we recorded them in person because there were 3 of us in the room, and the timing was always better to have everybody in the room.
Right.
Like when you do a podcast, it's better. And I had a lot of audio drops that I would put in, theme songs and stuff. And anytime I would test it over Skype, the person on the other end couldn't hear the music cues or any of that stuff. So it was just challenging. We broke the rule with Jason Howard and the movie Top Gun, and here's why. The entire reason the show exists is because of my conversation with Jason Howard, which is we were doing an episode of Stuff Said, and the first 10 minutes is us talking about Tom Cruise. And the joke is this could be its own podcast. And that interview ends. 2 hours later, the name Cruising Together pops in my head. And we were off to the races. So for Top Gun, now what's interesting is in that episode, the audio, like there was a point where Jason gets cut off, and it screwed things up. So whenever possible, we would try to do it in person. And since you were not that far away, I insisted that you be in person. And then you refused to be in person.
Right.
And we reached what we call an impasse.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But I am looking forward to your next podcast, which is about the Tom Hanks movie. That's called what's it called?
Well, no, the idea for the Tom Hanks podcast was called Hanks a Lot.
Hanks a Lot. That's
which has not materialized, and now we all live in like Chris and I live in different cities, so it would be even harder to do.
Right.
I mean, now I guess with Zoom and this stuff, it probably could happen.
We're gonna have to do it now.
But yeah, that was the idea for that. I have instead made it into a T-shirt. You can get a Hanks a Lot T-shirt with 27 Tom Hanks faces on it in his various performances, and that's up at my TeePublic page.
Right. Now we're gonna have to do that podcast now. we're gonna have to do the three of us and be on Hanks a lot.
I mean, I think it's a good idea for a show, and it's even less work than the Tom Cruise one.
Right.
The way I have it imagined in my head, it's just a matter of making the time to make another podcast.
Right.
Which then I go, is it better to make a podcast or make superhero books or something else that could make money?
See, you do what I do. You do the books as you're doing the podcast, so you kill two birds with one stone. So
I wouldn't be able to do that. I have to be engaged and like cracking jokes, and like I'd have theme songs and all,
See, you're
active
setting yourself up for
listening.
too much work. That's what you're doing.
But then
Too
I'm
much work.
proud of the product.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we have been on here for a couple hours, and we've lost all 2 listeners that were listening. And anybody have any last comments before we go? None. Awesome.
Well, we got 3 drawings for 3
there you
D. Brad, I think Greg could do a chip and/or cookie review pod.
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah, then I'd be competing with the guys over at Doughboys, and they would squash me like a bug.
I like
Can't
that Watermain guy. Awesome.
Thank you. That was one of
All
the
right.
first ones I came up with was Watermain.
So, thank you for coming on. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you for having me. Thank you for giving me plans on a Friday night.
Yeah, there you go. You can listen to this and or any past shows because we now have 20 of them. This includes 20 of them. They're all up on my Patreon. You can see the scroll at the bottom. It's patreon.com/Franco_. Go to gregschigiel.com for all things Greg and see his stuff and get his coloring book on. I'm assuming your website as well as Amazon.
You can get signed copies at my website, or you can just get it directly from Amazon.
There you
I
go.
don't care if it's signed.
There you go. So you should go out and buy all that stuff.
Please.
I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you being a good sport and always let me make fun of you and tell people that I hate you.
I love it.
It's awesome. I look forward to the day that we can see each other in person once again. Hopefully soon.
I think it can well be soon.
Yeah, hopefully. But
yes.
Check out the Patreon if you want to donate some money up there. You can. But all the shows are free.
Money. Also, Franco wants 14,000 followers on Twitter. So if you're not following Franco on Twitter, get on that.
But I don't want it to be a bot also.
No, not bots.
Yeah.
Want real followers.
And the other thing that I really want, if somebody can make it happen, is I want a doctorate, but I want an honorary one. I don't want to do all the classes. So if anybody has a college of any sort out there or university that I could just give a speech at and then be bestowed an honorary doctorate, because I just want people to just, call me doctor. I would insist upon it, actually, that they call me doctor. Doctor.
Yeah.
So you can keep the 14,000 followers. I'm looking more for the doctorate. So
okay, I take back my call to action.
I'd love to be Dr. Wayne.
Right? Cool. Well, thank you again, Greg. Appreciate it. We'll have you back on again.
Thank you, and thank you, Wayne.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Wayne. Appreciate it. You're my number one guy. You're always here for me. Thank you. I appreciate it. We will probably most likely be back next week. The week after we will not, because my wife is making me go on vacation. But we will be here. We will be here next week. All right. Take it easy. Bye-bye.